Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us. We will begin in a few minutes. We're still waiting for everyone to have a chance to join us properly, maybe still register and click on the button in the email. And in a few minutes, we'll officially welcome you to the webinar Performance and Effectiveness of the Sales Team. We have great presentations and demos prepared by our awesome team Skilo and the guest host from the Salesforce. Yeah, so first things first, how are you guys doing? How is your quarantine going? What is the weather?
Weather is nice. I'm actually just broadcasting from Dublin in Ireland. That's my actually hometown at the moment. So yeah, surprisingly, weather has been quite okay over here as usual. It's actually raining over here, so I'm happy with that. What about you, Ola?
Oh, I'm broadcasting from Warsaw, and actually, I have a storm that has just begun. So if you hear some thunderstorms and heavy rain, then sorry, but it's,
It's not the neighbors, it's the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My place
and you?
Yeah, my place so far so good. It's very hot outside. I'm like 2 hours drive from Warsaw, and it's sunny and very, very hot outside.
So the storm is coming for you in a moment.
The storm is coming, so yeah, it's only a matter of 1-2 hours, and it will come.
Yeah, it's quite strange because the whole quarantine thing became a new normal, and we kind of got used to it. But I still miss seeing you guys at the office, have a chit chat in the kitchen. So I hope it will soon be over, and we can have our face-to-face meeting, not online face-to-face meeting, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and I hope this pandemic won't have another curve. So yeah, let's just hope for the best and stay safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
keep your finger crossed.
Yeah, still we have to work from home and protect ourselves with masks, protect everyone else, sanitize the hands and wash them, and sing 3 times happy birthday. So yeah, I think we are gathering some audience, so maybe we should officially begin. So again, thank you everyone for joining us for the webinar entitled Performance and Effectiveness of the Sales Team, hosted by Skilo and Salesforce. Maybe let's quickly introduce ourselves so you can see that we have a star cast today gathered for you guys. So my name is Julia Dennis. I'm here a marketing manager at Skilo, and I'll be your moderator for the event. So maybe you guys can tell us a little bit more about yourself, your awesome experiences and achievements. So maybe Robert, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Julia, for so nice introduction. So I'm responsible for the product and operations when it comes to Skilo product. I've been in HR tech business for over 20 years now, and since 2014, I've been on HR tech on Salesforce platform. So I will do my best today to share with you the best pieces of what we did so far. So thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Ola?
At Enexo, I am responsible for new business development, mainly on the international markets, and the new business development for Skilo, our HRM employee development and performance management solution that is built on the Salesforce platform.
Great. And Wojciech?
Welcome everyone. My name is Wojciech Gaura. I'm representing Salesforce today. I work for Salesforce for the last nearly 2.5 years. At the moment, as a senior solution engineer, my responsibility, my daily task is to build a highly customizable demos, which are later on presented to our potential customer during the demo session. And that will be my role as well today I will present you with our solution.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Wojciech, for joining us all the way from Dublin and from the Salesforce. As I mentioned previously, we have a quite star cast gathered for you today to have a nice presentations and demonstrations. And I'm sure you have all of you attendees will have a few questions to ask all of our experts. So don't hesitate to ask them throughout the whole webinar. We will try to answer all of them at the end of the webinar, with the best of our abilities. But yeah, as soon as you have questions popping out in your heads, please ask them. If we'll not have time to answer all of them, we will send the answer via email. So yeah, maybe we shall begin the second part, the demonstrations of Skilo and Salesforce, and I am giving the mic to Wojciech.
Yes, that's me. That's me. Thank you very much. So I'm going to present my screen right now, and just let me know, please, if you can see it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
So you can see there. Okay, so for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to actually step into shoes of two common employees in every organization. So the first person will be typical kind of regular salesperson, sales agent, or a business development agent. And the second person, I will step into shoes of a sales manager. So as you can see, probably on my screen, sorry, I'm just gonna minimize it so it's not gonna distract anything. So as soon as I log into the platform as a salesperson, I'm presented with my home screen where I can see all important information which allows me to be productive from pretty much the first minute of my work every day. Straight away, I can see on the screen my pipeline. It's divided by the stages, sales stages. So I can know how many opportunities, how many kind of money I have in each of the stages. On the bottom there, because Salesforce allows you can integrate your email client with Salesforce. I can see all of my tasks and events that will be actually just integrated with Salesforce, as I said before. And also on the right side, I can see the recent records. So that actually helps me quickly navigate in case if I want to come back to task which I was already working on in the past. Also, because I'm a senior salesperson, I'm allowed to approve quite big deals. I was allowed by my manager to do so. So just so I don't really waste a time, I can quickly just review all items to approve from my homepage. But for the purpose of this demo, I'm gonna actually just focus on my tasks today. So I can see that I got a new lead from one of our business development person. So I'm gonna actually just see what I can do. How can I actually progress this deal and make it more interesting, and obviously qualify it after all. And here again, Salesforce comes with a help. I don't really have to look for that lead, for that person anywhere else. I can simply just click on the name of that person, and Salesforce will automatically just present me with all relevant to this person information. So as we can see, Brittany Zug comes from Ohana Corporation. The title of that person is Vice President of Operation, which is quite good. So I believe it is kind of like a stakeholder here. And Salesforce comes here with help again, because it presents me with the stages of this lead. And each stage, which is actually very helpful for my work, day-to-day work, it presents me also with guidance for success, which means information, what I have to achieve, what I have to do before I progress this lead to the next stage. So at the moment, we have a new lead. We can see on the right over here that in order to progress it I have to do this following things over here. And it's also helpful because if I stuck sometimes and I don't know what else I should do with the lead, this guidance for success helped me. So instead of kind of bothering my teammates with questions, what else I can do, etc., I can quickly just, by reading this guidance for success, which, by the way, are highly customizable, because every single organization has their own kind of guidance for success. So you can actually just edit that and make it your own kind of a success path, if that's what I that's exactly what I mean. Also, I'm presented with all relevant to this lead information collected so far, like email address, telephone number, and also activity tab on the right. It allows me to track all the activities done so far with this particular lead, which means potential customer. So as we can see over here, I just got it today, so the activity is quite empty. So there is not much in it. But yeah, I actually had a conversation with that person. First, I actually just decided to change the stage for working. So I had a conversation with that person. This person is very interested in buying our product. So he met all this kind of requirements over here on my list. So I can go ahead and just convert that person into account and opportunity. And again, Salesforce comes here with help. I don't really have to create 3 separate items manually. By converting, Salesforce will automatically create account of this person. It will create contact and also will create opportunity related to this one, which means just opportunity, potential sale, where we can track all information about it. So I already converted this account, so I'm not going to click on this button over here, but I'm just going to skip it and go to my tab where I'm going to present where I can see all information related to opportunity. Again, 360-degree view, that's what we call it in Salesforce. Straight away on my screen, I have account information. That's the account which was created automatically when I convert that lead into opportunity. I can see the close date. I can see all of my stages, and again, exactly the same as you saw with the lead. I have my guidance for success, which gives me kind of hints, tips, and tricks. What else I can do to progress it, to actually just make this person more interested in that product that I want to sell. On the top of that, obviously, I have all the notes related to that opportunity. Again, amount, which is very, very important for me, as then based on the amount, I can focus my attention. So in this particular one, 51,000 is quite good. So that way, even description says that this is a huge strategic opportunity. That means that I have to put extra kind of a focus on this particular thing. On the top of that, again, we have activity tab. So in activity tab, I can see every single action done related to this particular opportunity, not only by myself, also by all of my colleagues, because obviously if the deal is strategic and is quite big as this one over here, there is a number of people working on this particular opportunity. So instead of asking my colleagues what have they done with this particular account, I can simply just go here, review the timeline, and know exactly what happened, who contacted, and what was the purpose of the call with the customer. On the top of that, again, there is an extra bit called Chatter, which allows me to collaborate with my team. So instead of giving them a call, instead of if emailing them, I can do it everything from one screen, which saves me a massive amount of time after all, because I don't really have to jump between a couple of different applications. And Chatter works similar to any social media. So I'm sure you are all familiar with, for example, Facebook. All what we have to do if we want to bring this opportunity into attention of someone, or we simply need a help, we just need to tag that person, as we see over here, by simply clicking on add and name of the person. As soon as we press enter, Cindy Central got a notification on her phone, also got notification via email, and if she's at the moment logged in to her Salesforce platform, to Sales Cloud, she will see that ring over here on the right, it will actually change color for red. That means that there is a notification and there is a message for her attention there. So that's it. Also, so I had a conversation with this customer, and customer gave me a green light. I can send him a proposal quote with a list of all products that he's at the moment interested in. And again, Salesforce comes here with a huge help for me. Because instead of collecting all information related to this opportunity from different sources, I have them all in one screen. Plus, on the top of that, I can generate proposal or quote and send that directly to the customer from the platform, because Salesforce is integrated with your email client. So I'm going to show you quickly how this looks like. So we can generate proposal. There is a lot of templates that can be customizable. Salesforce also allow you to use your own templates if you don't want to change the layouts. And as you can see over here, we have a list of all the products that customer is willing potentially to buy, and also all the information related, like terms and condition related to this particular opportunity. And again, I don't really have to save it anywhere else. All what I have to do after generating such proposal, just click on save and email and send it to relevant to opportunity person. So that will be Maria, which is our sales executive. Now I'm going to step into shoes of the manager, sales manager, and I will show you how could possible day of work look like of that person. So because Maria started her day from the homepage, as a manager, I'm more interested in how much kind of revenue is generated, return on investment, how much money actually my sales team, my organization makes every day. So I start my day. I start my day on my sales executive dashboard, which presents me all relevant to my job information. As you can see on the left over here, I know straight away how much business my sales team closed to date. I can see the sales pipeline, but the difference between this sales pipeline and the one we saw on Maria homepage is that this shows me the whole team pipeline figures. I can see the forecast. So as you can see over here is divided by months, but obviously this forecast and the whole dashboard is highly customizable. And so if you want to, instead of months, you want to see just the quarters, no problem at all. You can actually just change that. So as I said before, I can see straight away how much I have in pipeline for each month, how much is the best case, and commit sale as well is visible. And what is very worth to highlight it over here, I don't really have to, if I want to dig in deeper into this information, just to get just to see the opportunities and stages, I don't really have to look for that elsewhere. All what I can do, I can quickly click on the report, which is attached to this dashboard, and this will populate all information related to this forecast, to this particular dashboard on my screen, so I can quickly just access relevant records. On the top of that, I have my activities, so I can see how busy is my sales team. So I can see that Maria Brown is quite busy at the moment. She's spending a lot of time on calls and a lot of time on the meetings. So thanks to that dashboard, I can quickly just, I can see if I can just move some of Maria tasks to, for example, Ellie or Ricky, because they are not that super busy, so they might kind of take that workload from her. Also, obviously, pipeline delay, which is you can see by person, and leaderboard, because obviously I would like to know who's the best salesperson in my team. So this leaderboard dashboard comes with help over here. Also, key opportunities. If that's the, for example, end of the quarter, I would like to focus on the biggest deals to close this. I can quickly just access it from the simple report, which is attached to the dashboard. And it's worth to say that every single dashboards are highly customizable. So, for example, this particular dashboard is very useful for me, but I know that every single person has their own way of working, and maybe different information are more important. This dashboard is highly customizable, and you can just basically tailor it, customize it to your own needs. And also, because I'm on the road, I am on the road quite often as a manager. I have to actually jump from one meeting to another, and access to the information is very, very crucial for me when I'm on the go. I don't really want to open my laptop, try to find a Wi-Fi, etc., etc. And Salesforce actually comes with a native application, which I'm going to just present right now. So it's a native application which comes with Salesforce, as I said before, where I can access all this information, and you saw a second ago on the screen, the dashboards, the tasks, opportunities. I can access them from my phone. As you can see over here, I have a dashboard. You can see pretty much the same information as before on the desktop. I can quickly go to my menu. I can go to my task, events. If I want to post something on Chatter to share this with my team, no problem at all. I can quickly do it from my phone. I can review opportunities. So, for example, our Ohana opportunity is there. And again, because so, for example, if I was on the meeting with let's say board directors of Ohana company, and they are if they are interested in our products, I don't have to waste a time going back to office, preparing quotes, sending it, etc., etc. No, again, application comes here with help. You can quickly generate that quote simply by clicking on the button on the top, new quote, and that will calculate all products related to this opportunity, and just generate and send the quote directly to the person. So yeah, so that's me for now in terms of our Sales Cloud solution. At the moment, now we're gonna actually just move to Robert, my colleague, who will actually present you a fantastic application called Skilo, which will allow you to manage your sales team. But more about that, Robert, is on to you now.
Comes with a lot of support to sales teams, and when it comes to employee performance and development management. So I will share with you a couple of use cases that are used by our customers along with CRM platform. The first one is goal management. So I will show you how Tom, being the manager of Maria, Natalie, and Colin, and Edna, how he is able to set up goals, track the progress, automate the process, track any potential activities, provide feedback to anyone at any time. So this is the first part. The other part is employee competence and skill development. So this is the place where Tom, being the manager for the sales team, he is able just to see what are the potential areas where Maria, Natalie, or himself can get better to achieve better results in terms of improving competencies, skills, or knowledge required to deliver better results. So I will walk you through that as well. Then I would like to walk you through the way the Tom and the team have a periodic check-ins where they just run a kind of performance review or appraisals where they just meet, summarize the results, and plan for the future. So those are three key use cases that I would like to share with you today. And all of them are great extension to the daily operations that salespeople do on a daily basis. So let me walk you through some use cases as it comes to goal management. So Tom, being himself a manager and salesperson, he has his own goals that he has established with his manager. So Skilo comes here with the easy and very straightforward way to navigate the goals, track the progress, cascade the goals to the team. So Tom can, his quota of 500,000, he can easily split the quota onto his team. He can assign some tasks in order to help him to achieve his goal. He can have a conversation with his direct manager on every single goal. Of course, anytime he makes any progress on the goal, he can easily update the progress, and it will automatically appear on his dashboard. So that's the way the Tom, being the owner of the goal, can see and work on his own goals. Then Tom, being the manager of Maria, Natalie, or Edna, he can easily see what are the active working goals and KPIs of his team. He can also create any new goal just by providing the name, due date, weight, and expected result and measure. He can also automate the process. Very often it happens that the goals are the same for the number of people or just got repeated every single quarter or month. So Skilo comes here with help, and Tom, being the manager, can easily create one goal and assign it to a number of people. So it just makes the manager's life easier. And the same with must clone. So in which case, Tom, being the manager, would see every past goal of the team, and he can easily select the goals from the past and replicate them into the new months or quarters or any other portions of time and assign proper people to it. So that would make managers' life easier when it comes to goal setting. Then once the goals are set up, Tom, being the manager of a salesperson, he can easily provide any type of comments all the way along. He can refresh realization of the goal that would read closed opportunities bar Maria from Sales Cloud, from the opportunity we've just seen in the previous presentation. So this is the way the manager would work on daily, regular basis with his team on goals. Of course, the manager would get insight into the past business goals, so he can easily see what were the historical achievements of every single team member, and use this information to have a meaningful conversation and dialogue with employees. So that would be the use case for the goal management, where the Tom can set up goals with the team, track the progress, and automate the whole process. Then the other important part of team management, as it comes to sales team management, is competency and skill development. So in order for Maria, Natalie, Edna, and Tom himself to achieve better results, they need to understand what's required from them as it comes to competencies and skills to achieve better and better results. So Tom would see his development goals. He agreed with his direct manager. He can suggest the new development goal and competency he would like to achieve. Skilo would propose potential activities he could undertake in order to improve this skill. And then he would see the framework, the baseline of competency skill set required on his position. Then Tom, being the manager of Maria or Natalie, he can easily see what are actual development goals his team is working on. He can easily go into every single goal and check what activities Maria planned in order to achieve to improve the project management skill in this particular case. And again, he can have the meaningful conversation and just mark that goals has been the activities have been achieved or not. Then anytime Tom can go to employee profile, and based on the meeting they had, conversation they had, observation he had, he can create a new goal and suggest any type of development activities he would recommend to Natalie in order to improve assertiveness or pipeline management or any other type of competency or skill that is required. So that would provide the manager and the team with this simple and streamlined way of planning development activities around competencies and skills that are required and necessary for people to achieve better results and get better every day. So that would be the use case for development management. And the last part is a kind of periodic process where Tom can have a check-ins with his team. So in that case, Skilo would trigger and share the periodic evaluation forms between the manager and employees. So they will be both the employee, the manager would be able to review the progress on business goals, update the actuals, provide some comments. Depending on what set of goals they have been agreed at the very beginning of the quarter or period, it will appear here. Then they can have a meeting and discuss and review any competency or skill that is required on given position. Tom can ask others to provide feedback on different behaviors related to competency and skill. So that would make the framework for the Maria and Tom to have a meaningful conversation and actionable discussion in order to progress to development plan. So every single time they review the goal progress, competency levels, they can review also progress on competency development activities, and they can decide to add any new development goal at any time so that Maria can improve her skill or ability in next period. And as a summary, they would see the overall rating, and most of our customers use Skilo to calculate tangible results related to employee performance based on level of achievement of goals or level of achievement as it comes to competency levels. So that calculation can be customized, and that can streamline the process of bonus or commission calculations for the manager and for the company. Then I would like to share with you the last part, the homepage that Tom would have in order to have a helicopter view of what's going on his team. So he would see the goal progress of every single person within the team, the levels of competencies, the progress on feedback provided by team members to each other, completed trainings, headcount, or any recruitment project, so that Tom can also track the progress on team extending the team. So that would be the key use cases and the high level overview of how Skilo can support managers and employees to plan for tangible, measurable, understandable goals, to plan for development of employees, and measure the performance results and plan for the future. So that's the way Skilo supports users on a daily basis. So that would be all from me. Thank you, and I'm passing to back to Wojtek.
Before we actually go to the next part of this meeting, I would like to quickly summarize what we saw so far, just for the last half an hour. So first of all, we saw a web application called Salesforce, Sales Cloud, where we can effectively track, manage all the leads, opportunities, and accounts. And also we saw forecasting, which allow us to forecast our sales. And that process, the sale process you saw a second ago, it's a very common process. It's like a kind of standard one, but obviously this can be customized to your own needs, depend on what kind of products you are selling, depend on your industry. So this what you just saw a second ago there, I mean a couple of minutes ago, is just kind of like a standard sales process. And also in connection with Skilo app, it allows you to effectively track your sales team and also influence them in terms of like giving them some sort of like constructive feedback related to their work, because this is very important these days to actually receive such a feedback. As an employee, you can then focus on these areas that are not yet on the level you would like to have them on. And so Skilo app, it actually comes here with a great help. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we're going to go to our next kind of a stage of this webinar, which is the use cases. And that part will be presented by my colleague, Alexandra Ola.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my screen? Can you hear me well?
Yes, absolutely, we can.
Great. So Skilo is a kind of solution that can be implemented and used in practically any industry and in the company of any size. It is a great advantage because well, practically every type of organization can benefit from Skilo. For me, it is also more interesting because I have the opportunity to work with and to get to know different sectors, different companies with different and specific organizational culture and requirements. No matter if it's a retail company or finance sector, or production sector, usually customers who are most interested in Skilo are those that have strong sales teams or teams with employees having so-called smart KPIs, and also those who have who perceive employees as the greatest company asset and the greatest value. And the companies that care about the employees' competencies, the career development, as well as their positive experience. So among our customers, there are both large companies and smaller firms. We have many Polish customers, but also we have many implementations on the global market in many foreign countries. We implemented Skilo in companies that already used Salesforce CRM, but also we have implemented Skilo in the companies that implemented CRM, Salesforce CRM after Skilo was being deployed. And also companies that do not use CRM at all, or Salesforce CRM. At the moment, we have also open implementation projects in retail sector, in logistics, in production companies. So as you can see, there are no limitations or no restrictions as to where Skilo can be deployed and used. It can be implemented practically everywhere where employees value for the organization. So let me share with you maybe two examples of the implementations. The first case is an example of a company who benefited from the synergy of using both the Salesforce CRM and Skilo HR management solution at the same time. It is a US-based global leader in solutions for automating and improving warehouse productivity, also for improving workplace safety and the asset performance for retail, for manufacturing, for logistics industries. The customer employs nearly 200 skilled sales engineers and managers. For those sales engineers, in order to execute their sales and account management activities, and in order to serve their customers as best as they can. The team uses Salesforce CRM to track and support their sales. The innovation and continuous development is a big part of this company's culture. And the company's management, in order to support that culture and those needs around continuous development of salespeople, the management has developed the Sales Management Excellence Competency Review Program in order to provide the transparent and continuous competency development for the sales organization. The challenge that the company had was that the program was ready, it was well documented, well defined, and also communicated within the organization. But our client needed technology in order to support them in implementing this program in practice. And the Salesforce CRM supported salespeople in following the whole sales process and in communication with the external customers. But with regards to the soft skills and planning of the sales competencies development that were correlated with the sales goals, it was necessary for them to find another supporting technology. And so they needed a platform that would enable sales engineers and their managers to review competencies, to plan development activities, and to stay engaged in the program and in self-development in general. So like I mentioned, the customer started to search for appropriate solution, and after researching many technology solutions that were available on the market in this area, they decided to select and to implement Skilo. The main reason for choosing Skilo platform were such things as the native integration to the Salesforce CRM platform, which they have already used in the organization. Another important aspect was that for them, Skilo was intuitive and user-friendly. It has a user-friendly interface. Also, Skilo has ready-to-use competency review, coaching, feedback, and development-related processes. So it was, in a sense, a ready solution for them, and could be easily implemented. And also, Skilo talent management functionality is based on the leading best practices, and therefore it can be deployed quickly, and those practices are easily adopted by the employees. And Skilo was deployed at first as a pilot to a selected group and with selected functionalities, but it was a big success, and then the project was subsequently extended. The project was due to those ready-made, predefined workflows and functionality. The project could be deployed very quickly, so it was within weeks and not months, like many such implementations. As a result of implementing Skilo, our customer gained an intuitive and user-friendly solution, facilitating and engaging salespeople in constant self-development in terms of competencies and skills. After the implementation, the sales staff and the managers can plan, review, and assess the required sales competencies. They can plan, realize the relevant and significant development actions, helping employees in their career development. So it positively influences employees. They feel that the company wants to develop them and their skills. They can learn things that are important for them and for their job. And the skills, of course, stay with them even if they change such jobs. So this is very positive for the employees. With Skilo, the sales team could also start implementing coaching activities from within the Salesforce CRM platform that provided an intuitive and enhanced user experience. And all those things that I mentioned in turn led to better quality of sales and better quality of account management activities done by the sales team. Of course, it also increased the employee satisfaction. So they had finally a, in a sense, defined place and time for the development discussions, but also the application itself is simple, it's intuitive, it's integrated with the Salesforce CRM that they are using on the everyday basis, so it's convenient. And also the implementation led to the better service for the customers, because when people develop the skills that are relevant for the customers, for servicing the customers and for servicing for customers' expectations, they can service the customers better. And also it helped the company to increase the sales, because being knowledgeable about how to sell and how to better communicate with the customers, how to identify better the customer's needs and then deliver more value, it also positively influenced the sales results. The second example of implementation of Skilo that I would like to share with you today is that of a leading global pharmaceutical company, a research-based company that is specializing in manufacturing and in sales of the drugs and vaccines from the area of immunology, infectious diseases, oncology, difficult terms, and neuroscience. The company employs over 300 employees in Australia and in New Zealand. And like in the case of the previous case, this customer also utilizes the benefits of using integrated Salesforce CRM and Skilo platforms. The customer employs over 100 account managers and medical representatives. So this is why I said that usually the most interested companies are those that have strong sales teams. So they employ hundreds account managers and medical reps in order to serve their clients as best as they can. The team also uses a Salesforce-based CRM platform in order to manage the sales and to execute daily sales and account management activities. Some of the challenges that the company was facing were a bit different than in the previous case. So one of the challenges was the inefficient communication between the salespeople and the managers around employee development. It was also lack of tools that would facilitate feedback sharing, as well as planning and regular monitoring of sales staff development. Also, no clear visibility of required competencies was one of the problems, and lack of knowledge how to develop them. And also no clear visibility of competencies that were already present in the organization, probably due to this ineffective communication. And so to overcome those challenges and to support a largely mobile workforce, the customer decided to search for a solution that would facilitate the continuous development of the customer-facing staff. The client also needed a mobile-friendly solution that would help account managers and medical representatives and supervisors to better understand staff competencies and together manage the employees' development. Like you know, medical representatives often work in the field and account managers as well. So this was the functionality, the mobile functionality was an important requirement here. After researching and analyzing the various both internal and external solutions that they could use, the client decided to use Skilo. The main reasons for selecting Skilo were the fact that it is built on the Salesforce platform and has the robust integration capabilities. So the customer could integrate it with the Salesforce-based CRM that they were using. It is also mobile ready and it provides enhanced mobile user experience, which was an important requirement, like I mentioned, in order to support the remote employees. It also provides out-of-the-box competency development screens and workflows, as well as tools for visualizing the competency development. And those were the main factors why the customer selected Skilo. And because Skilo comes, like I already mentioned, with the pre-configured leading processes, the project was successfully deployed to all the users in very short time. Like before, it was within several weeks. After deployment of Skilo, account managers and the medical representatives and of course their supervisors could much better identify existing and required competencies. They could better manage staff competencies and they could have constructive and transparent discussions regarding career path and career advancement. So the employees felt that they are finally being heard, and that they understood also what is expected of them in order to go to the next step in their professional career. The client now has a easy-to-use solution that engages its staff in the ongoing competency and skill development, dialogue and career planning activities. And also by being able to use the solution on mobile devices, it supports the remotely working employees within the company. This, of course, resulted in better account management of the account managers and the medical reps, in increased customer satisfaction, and in better client service. So those are very important aspects for each company, I guess. User feedback regarding Skilo in this implementation was very positive, and the project was a big success there. So, well, so those are the two cases that I wanted to talk to you about. I wonder if we have any questions from the audience.
Okay. Thank
Julia,
you, Ola.
do we have any questions from the audience so far?
Yeah, just let me tell. Thank you, everyone, for sharing such a great, insightful, practical, and useful information. So I can ask all of the panelists to please turn on the cameras and join the final discussion.
Perfect. That was actually great 2 use cases. Thank you very much for that, Ola. To be honest, like more I hear about this application, I can say that I'm more impressed actually what you can actually do using it. But I actually have a question for you regarding like how long, like for typical organization who will decide to implement this application, how long it's going to take to see first benefits related to using it?
Well, of course, it depends on how skill application will be used within the organization. In order to track progress, you obviously need to have some time for some quarterly or semi-annual reviews. So depending if the organization is using Skilo, like we usually advise on an ongoing basis, and also for the formal performance review process on a regular basis, like semi-annual or usually annual. So the more opportunities the manager with the employees have to discuss, to share feedback, to share coaching tips around the development of the competencies, the quicker actually this progress can be visible for the organization, and then the benefits actually seen. So it largely depends on the intensity of using Skilo.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you very much for that. Also, I have one more question for you, Ola, related to Skilo application. Do you need Salesforce license to use Skilo, or it works without, or how does it work? Would you mind to elaborate a little bit on this?
Sure. So like I already mentioned, we had the implementation both in the organizations who already use Salesforce CRM, but also in such organizations that they didn't use CRM. It is possible for Skilo to be deployed in both scenarios. So of course, it is much better if Salesforce CRM is in place, because the integration is in a sense native, and it's easier. We can have visibility in Skilo of many information that is already in Salesforce, so this can speed up the deployment process and the ease of using Skilo as well. But it is not necessary. So in case there is a customer who would like to use Skilo but doesn't use Salesforce as their main CRM, Skilo license provides also the embedded license for the Salesforce platform, and so we can deploy Skilo in the organizations that don't use Salesforce, but also in the kind of mixed scenario where there is Salesforce in place with the customer, but only, for example, sales staff use the CRM and the rest of the company doesn't have Salesforce licenses, but still we would like Skilo to be used for all the employees within the organization. And like I mentioned, because there is an embedded Salesforce license in Skilo license, it is possible to use it also in the case where the company doesn't have CRM, Salesforce CRM licenses.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I also want to actually just add something over here that that Enzo company, the owner of Skilo application, it's our official Salesforce partner. So not only they actually just developed this genius application called Skilo, but they also can actually help you with all Salesforce integration and all works related to the platform. So that's something what I wanted to add over here and highlight. So just in case if you are in need of any partners, absolutely you know who should you call at the moment. From now on.
That's true. Thank you for this. Like I mentioned before, we also know cases where the customer started from implementing Skilo, and in order to have a well-integrated CRM, they have decided to go for Salesforce later on. In such cases, we, of course, as a company, as a Salesforce partner, can help with the implementation and setup of the Salesforce CRM as well.
Okay, perfect. Good to hear that. Also, there is a question related to integration with different systems like ERP systems. Can you integrate Skilo with some sort of ERP? Robert, probably that would be a good question for you. Would you mind to a little bit elaborate on this subject?
Yeah, sure. So let me answer this question. There are two levels of integration, or two streams of integration. The first one is internal native integration to Sales or Service Cloud objects from within Skilo directly to Skilo objects, which is native, natural, and easy to set up. But when you look at other apps like third-party applications, databases, we very often do leverage Salesforce platform capabilities related to integration to other solutions. So when it comes to employees and employee-related data, we basically usually recommend to have two-level integration. The first one is having employee directory synchronized to Active Directory or payroll on or HR system, which is usually set up through web services or any other method that Salesforce platform supports. On a daily basis, employees in Skilo are the data is always up to date. And then the second aspect of integration to other platforms is having the employee-related data synchronized between external systems and Skilo Salesforce platform. And here again, we do leverage Salesforce platform integration capabilities to build proper web services or web methods to communicate online to external databases or apps and provide the users with up-to-date and seamless integration. So that's that's the way we address this topic.
Perfect. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Do we have any other questions
Yes,
from
now I
audience?
think, yeah, I think we should switch to some audience questions. We have a few. I believe we will not have the time to answer all of them, but one of them is if we have the Salesforce CRM licenses for our employees, do they allow us to use also Skilo?
No, unfortunately. They are for the strictly CRM use, but in order to use the additional functionality of Skilo, the user needs to have a user license for Skilo as well. So the other way around, it works in this way that if there is no CRM, we can provide Skilo anyway. But in order to have the Skilo functionality, the user license for Skilo is necessary as well.
Okay, I hope we answered your question. So thank you for asking. The next question is there a possibility to manage the remotely working team? And the second question from the same person is Skilo and Salesforce available on the mobile devices?
Okay, I have partially, I think, tackled this topic when discussing the second use case scenario for our pharmaceutical customer. It was one of the requirements to be able to support the remote workers on mobile devices. So naturally, Skilo, yes, comes with the mobile application. That has very similar functionality to the desktop one. Of course, there are some limitations from the mobile devices naturally, but in general, yes, all the functionality is available for Skilo also on the mobile devices. Wojtek, about
if I can,
Salesforce.
I will actually just add something to this. So yeah, I was presenting, I'm not sure if you remember during this webinar, I was presenting mobile application. And obviously that was just a small bit of all possibilities related to this mobile application. There are certain limitations. However, most of the task you can perform from the mobile. Some of our clients, they are using mobile sales team, and they are fully kind of operating their business using their mobile devices like iPads or phones. So yeah, if that answer, I hope that answer your question. But yes, you can manage mobile sales team using Skilo and obviously our native app application.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Wojciech. I hope we answered the question of the attendee. And the last question for today is Salesforce CRM necessary to use Skilo?
Okay, so this topic I also, I believe, covered during the presentation. It is advisable and it is well integrated to have Skilo together with the Salesforce CRM. So that's the best scenario. But if a customer does not use Salesforce CRM, we can of course implement it together with Skilo. But also it is technically possible to deploy Skilo without the CRM. It only requires more effort into implementing, into inputting data if we don't have the CRM in place, but it is possible.
Yeah, thank you, Ola, for greatly repeatedly answering the question. But yeah, we encourage you to use both Skilo and Salesforce CRM for the perfect combo, and that explains the title of the webinar, to increase performance and the effectiveness of the sales team.
Synergy
I think
is important here.
yes,
It gives us more than the two separate solutions.
Yeah, synergy and the perfect balance.
And what I would like to also add at the very end over here is that my part of the presentation, the Sales Cloud presentation, just to let you know that this is just a very small % of all options available for for the customers. So that was just very high level touch. That's what we call it, demo, because platforms offer much more functionalities to our customers.
Yeah,
And
so
the same is true for Skilo. We have only showed you the core functionality of managing the competencies and the goals for the team, but Skilo supports also other areas like the training management, like the recruitment management, and also certain onboarding activities can be done easily in Skilo. There is a core HR system that holds all the information about the company organization, the structure, the hierarchy, the users. So there is, like in the case of what Wojtek says about Salesforce, there is much more to Skilo than what we have showed you today because of the limitations of time together.
yeah, so if you have any questions regarding all the all of the whole package that we are offering in Skilo and Salesforce, please feel free to contact Robert, Ola, or Wojciech, for a demo. We will be glad to show you all of the capabilities and possibilities of both of the platforms. And
Sure.
I think, yes, so feel free. So I think this is it. This is all that we have prepared for you today. I think we should wrap up the webinar. So again, thank you everyone for sharing the insightful, very practical, and I hope useful for all of you information. And you will have the recording of the webinar sent to you within 24 hours with the presentation. If you have follow-up questions, please also feel free to message us at skilo@anaxa.com. Please check our social media handles, our website, and we hope to see you in the next webinars. And please stay safe. I know it's hard during the quarantine, but please stay safe. So thank you guys. Again, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much
for your time.
Have a great day.
Bye bye.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.